have to probably also do films which, you think and you do it with the hope that what if it just might work. But deep down you know that, okay, you know the film which hits a chord with your heart and which doesn't. But having said that, life never goes on with the way you plan. There's never like, it's never like my way. It's always, it has its own course. It has its own journey. And I'm very glad whatever the journey has been, because that is what made me this person whom I am today. It only made me stronger. It only gave and reinstated the fact that, you know what, I'm here, I've come here all the way. I can't go back with just doing something which is not substantial. I'm here to make a mark, and I will prove it with time. Not to anybody, but to myself.
A lot of people who come from small towns and they come to the city of dreams, as they call Bombay, and they want to make it big, hoping, like you said, with no godfather or with no surname. They go through a lot. What were your struggles and how did you come out stronger out of that?
I started my career with television, and for a very brief time. And I realized pretty soon actually that this is the reason I don't want to stay here, because nothing exciting was coming my way. And I thought that let's try something else. But my father had a very legit concern that, it's a place, it's not easy to afford to stay without work. How will financially you will keep up? I come from a good middle class valued family. So I said, no, Papa, give me some time. Give me 3 months. Give me 3-4 months. If nothing works out, I'll come back. I'll come back and I'll do television. And now, of course, the kind of, there is a side of television also which is getting into very creative space. But on the whole of it, at that point of time, there was nothing that way which was exciting. Yeah. And so I started doing a lot of auditions and what you see in films, and wait in queues like everybody, travel by on your own and wait for hours for your turn to come. And I'll be in the middle of, I remember in the middle of professional models who were like conventionally very groomed, and I was just myself. And some ads I could make through, some ads I couldn't make through. I would audition for some short films, I would audition for anything which came my way. I just had to know, there were some basic contacts which everybody knew. They'll send you, and probably from Oshiwara you'll go to Goregaon, from there you'll probably go to town, and in one day you used to plan, this is what I'm going to cover up. And so all these instances, or they could be someone, just get some, I remember a girl just said, can you just touch up your pimple on the cheek? I said, pimple on the cheek? And the room was full. I said, there's no pimple on the cheek. There is, and we don't have that much time, Could you just fix it? I said, it's not there. Then I saw the mirror. I said, she's like, oh, that's your dimple. I thought that's your pimple. I was at that time I was very embarrassed, but now of course I laugh at it. But I have had rejections. I remember walking in in a very popular ad commercial. I got selected, and there had to be 5-6 of us girls getting very important part. All of us had our own part, and they were giving me a look which I was not comfortable with. And I just said very politely that I'm not looking like myself, or I was very new, I didn't know even how to put across. And I said, he said, yeah, but this is not about you. This is about, you know how they actually say in films, I remember as well, that you're just a model here. You don't have to say anything. I said, yeah, but it's my face. And if nobody will recognize me, then how will I get to some logic I had. And I don't know, I got ready, then my shot didn't come, they didn't take my shot. Next day again I've got fully ready, till the time I see a girl walking, and I was told, just leave. I said, but I've been here since 2 days, you didn't inform me. He said, I was so full of emotions. I was about to break down, and I thought it was very unfair for them to have me ready. And for what? I even agreed to whatever look they had to give me, and I said, okay, fine, no problem. And the moment I sat down in the car, I remember I cried so much. I called my parents and I said, I've been replaced like that. They didn't give me any explanation, nothing. I just said 2 lines, and and they replaced me for that. And they said something on the monitor that, no, on my face. I remember that, you know, you're a very ordinary looking girl, and we have to make something interesting work out on your face. And I didn't know what it meant. You're pretty, but you're a
Yeah.
very ordinary girl. So, so I was, but you know, these are the things, these are little, and I remember telling my dad on the phone that, Papa, I promise you one thing, that I'm not leaving the city till the time I don't leave a mark or I don't make a mark. And there have been times where, yes, there was no vanity man just sitting in a room, sharing your room with everybody else, but maybe some actors were given vanity vans. I was part of some commercials, and but I would never complain. I would never say anything because I would just carry my book and just keep reading or keep studying something. So, so yeah. So, but I remember that time with a smile. There is no regret. I feel there was a certain joy in that life also, where you feel happy that you earned it where you are. You came a hard way. A lot of people come actually a very harder way. I know some people who had really, really hard stories. But thankfully, no story I've had where it would just throw me in a situation where I'm disgusted by something. Thankfully, no such incident has happened with me. But I remember traveling also to, I don't know what, different parts of the country for some regional film at odd hours, but without any fear. For some reason, I don't know how, for without any apprehension, nothing. I just knew that I have to keep working. One work will lead to another work, and then eventually, first one happened.